Welcome to the Brett Beard Show, sponsored by James Restaurant. I'm your host, Beau. With me always, Coach. Coach, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great. How about you?
Great.
Good deal.
Last week, Coach came off a tough loss. This week, we bounced back with a huge win. How big is that in getting our team back?
Yeah, it's still early in the year, so we're learning to see, what kind of team we have exactly, where our senior leadership is, and with 43 seniors, you'd like to see the bounce back that we had. Ideally, we'd like to start a little faster. I mean, to do what we did and turn the ball over like we did early on, good teams are gonna bury us, and that can't happen. But I thought we did a really great job bouncing back, handling the emotions of the tough loss the week before, getting back into the grind, learning from our mistakes. We just made some bad turnovers. Other than that, we were really sharp. We got after it. We were physical again. And coming off the loss, that was a really physical loss where I thought we did a really good job there. Sometimes you wonder what we're going to look like coming back out, and I really thought we answered up being physical again and, kind of playing Denham football, which is what I'm most proud of. Because at the end of the day, if we're physical and, we can execute and do some little things, but if we're physical, we got a chance to win, every play, every game. So.
Yeah. All right, with that being said, we're going to get into the live action highlights against Woodlawn. Jackets take the field. I like this color. The purple with the white pants, it looks real crisp, real clean.
Yep.
Just something about that.
Yeah, I love the plain white pants. It just kind of gives us a sleek look, and there's not too many stripes that don't match up and add up, and I think that's just a classic sleek look.
Jack start with the ball. Number 1, Deshaun Goldman hands off to number 4, Tanner Kearney. He bounces to the outside, and the ball fumbled. Number 36 for Woodlawn was able to jump on top of it and recover that. Coach, this is the first fumble of many for this first half of football. How big were these turnovers?
Again, you talk about starting fast, and we're talking about kids, a couple of these guys hardly ever fumble. But, we're driving. It's a heck of a drive going on right here, and then we get to this point with a nice little run, and he gets it poked out. I mean, it is what it is. We got to do a better job protecting the football, and we will going forward.
Luckily, the defense comes out and gets a stop. So Jack can start with the ball. It's a handoff to Hayden Ray. He bobbles the handoff and is not able to fall on it. And once again, Woodlawn recovers another fumble.
Yeah, bad exchange. I don't know that he ever really had it, when you see it from that angle, which is a really good angle.
Jack had the ball, faked the handoff, goes to number 29, Enzo Landry in the flats. He's able to get a good block by Britton Paul there. He gets a first down. Jack is lined up for the next play. It's a handoff this time to Britton Paul. He runs through one defender, straight up the middle, and he turns on the jets, running past all the defenders, and he looks untouched, but he gets pushed into the end zone for the first score of the game, making your score 7-0. Coach, you talked about him last week. He's due for something big, and we see it here, a big-time run in this moment.
Yeah, BP's got a chance to be a special player, and we knew that. I think we handled him incorrectly last year. Preseason, we kind of handled him with kid gloves. We knew how important he was. We didn't want to risk getting him injured because we knew how big a piece he was going to be, and I actually think it went backwards with his game. I think he's a kid that needs to be in the fire and getting after it every day. It's where I don't think we did him any favors last year. I thought we mishandled him, and that's on me and kind of my idea, and it just backfired to where now we are reaping what we knew he could do, and BP is going to be an amazing player for us and a big-time player in this state, and I'm just glad it's finally happening, and it's his senior year, and we expect this to happen a lot.
Woodlawn back with the ball. This time it's a handoff to number 32. He's met almost immediately with a group of defenders, and they're trying to push him and pull him every which way. But number 7, Caden Allen's able to come out of the group with the ball. Kind of random there, but I mean, hey, take a turnover where you get it.
Yep. Yeah, big play. You got to create turnovers. They've created them, and we got to get a ball back, and we did just that.
Jack is back with the ball. Number 29, Enzo Landry takes the handoff. The ball is punched out again by number 19 for Woodlawn. That's another fumble for the Yellow Jackets. Woodlawn has the ball. Now Jack is back with the ball, handoff to Britton Paul this time, bounces it outside again, turns on the jets, and looks like he has nobody to beat but himself. Number 9 for Woodlawn takes a great angle and tackles him from behind. Next play, Deshaun Goldman drops back to pass. His pass is deep, but it's picked off by number 9 for Woodlawn. Another turnover. He is later brought down by Hayden Ray and the rest of the offense. Almost a costly turnover, but we were able to bounce back.
Well, the crazy thing is that's 4 turnovers in the first quarter. This is still at the end of the first. So 4 turnovers in the first quarter, and we're winning a football game. And, Woodlawn is no slouch. I mean, they were down against Walker the week before and came back and beat them. So to be in this position, we were in a good spot, as ugly as it was, as slow start as it was. But I mean, I was not comfortable by any means at this point. I mean, 4 turnovers and up 7 is a nice place to be.
Number 36 gets the handoff for Woodlawn, but is immediately met in the backfield by number 11, Cedric Polk. That's a big-time stop in the backfield. Really gets the defense fired up. Handoff this time to Hayden Ray. We're on the goal line. He just tramples over literally everybody, both teams, and scores a touchdown for making the score 14-0. We've already talked about how great Hayden Ray is, but how great was that line on that play?
Yeah, I mean, you see the push. You know, a lot of times, you know, we didn't get in versus Central in this situation. And, you know, you got to take it personally. You got to want to make it right, and we did just that. You see his pad level was lower. Everything was better right there, and that's all you can ask.
Number 17 for Woodlawn drops back, quickly throws to number 18 for a small gain after being tackled by a good group of Yellow Jacket defenders. Number 22 for Woodlawn back to punt, snaps over his head. He's still going back. He manages to pick the ball up, but he has nowhere to go as he's met with 2 defenders and brought down by number 19, Jackson Sagan. Another time, Johnny Bravo up the kick. His kick is up and is through the middle, and it is good, making your score 17-0. Deshaun Goldman back to pass. He finds number 2, Matthew Duvall, after a perfectly placed ball and a perfect toe tap. Now he's back to pass again. This time he's looking. He has to roll out. Makes a really good move on 13 and avoids all the defenders and scores a touchdown. I mean, once again, we see him make a bad play in the beginning and come back with another touchdown. How big is it for a quarterback to be able to throw the ball perfectly and also be able to run like a running back?
Well, I mean, he's one thing. The one thing I really love about him is, you know, he can make mistakes and he doesn't get rattled. You know, he's all about the next play. But you can see, you know, he can really hurt some people with his legs, and something we had to go away from last week versus Central because he got tired, started having cramps, got a little nicked up. He's deadly with the legs, as deadly as he is with the arms. So it's a combination we've got to continue to utilize and grow our offense around.
That takes it into halftime. Your score 20-0, and Denham will come out with the ball. Denham comes out the ball, snap is low and stays on the ground, is able to be recovered by a Woodlawn. Another turnover, just never-ending turnovers, seems like.
And just petty turnovers, things that are easy to clean up, but things that shouldn't happen.
Number 17 for Woodlawn takes a snap. He has a bunch of pressure, and he is later taken down by number 9, Beau Scott, in almost the end zone. Number 22 back to punt again, snaps over his head and out the back of the end zone. A safety for the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets. Causing your score be 26-0. Tanner Kerner back to receive the punt. He has a really good blocking this time, and he just makes a weird kind of cut and is later brought down by a group of defenders after a really good game. This time it's a handoff to Brenton Paul. Once again, taking it outside, he turns on the jets and just outruns every defender, outruns all the tackles, and is into the end zone untouched. That's another big rushing touchdown, and it's not like these are small touchdowns, these are big touchdowns. How big of a game is this for him?
Yeah, I mean, first off, when you rush for over 200 yards and you rip off some of the runs that he did, he showed exactly what he's capable of doing. So again, something we've been excited about for a couple of years with him, that we wanted everybody else to see what he's capable of doing. And now we're finally getting to see it. I mean, the kid is everything you want, always smiling, amazing student athlete. Doesn't ever cause any problems, hard working, comes to work every day. He's got everything you want, the best personality, the best work ethic, and you want a kid like this to be able to reap those benefits and do what he's doing. And I love seeing this kid have success because he deserves it, because he earned it and he's worked for it. So I'm excited for 5 to continue to grow and BP to have a big time year.
Number 17 back to pass again, and this time he's met by a group of defenders. Almost the whole D-line gets him there for a sack. We see defense is really hyped up now. Number 9 kind of does a little celebration.
Good to see Debo dance.
Deshaun Goldman hands it off to number 29, Enzo Landry again. He makes some good cuts and spins through a tackle, and it looks like he's going to go all the way, but he's later brought down by number 30 for Woodlawn. That's a big play. He kind of bounces back from that fumble there. Handoff again to number 29, Enzo, straight up the middle. Kind of smash mouth football there, and about a 5-10 yard gain there. Not a bad run. This time, it's a handoff to number 10, Caden Milligan. He makes a move on one defender, runs through another defender, and is later brought down by a group of them. Young sophomore there stepping up. Johnny Bravo goes up the kick. His kick is wide and no good. Score still 33-0. Woodlawn with the ball, number 10 has it this time, and he is met again by almost the whole D-line, it looks like. The D-line was stepping up big, and that's the final 33-0. Denham takes the dub. Stats being Deshaun Goldman, 7 for 12 passing, 79 passing yards, 1 rushing touchdown, and 1 interception. Brenton Paul, 17 carries, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns. Enzo Landry, 10 carries, 59 yards. Big win this week, you know, gets the team really hyped up and seeing what they can do. How is this going to translate well for like momentum into going into this district game in EA?
Well, I mean, it's like any week. I mean, as long as we learn from good or bad or ugly, as long as we learn and we move forward, and you put that in the rearview mirror and you go forward with your experience, getting comfortable with the live bullets flying and the real under the lights. As long as we can continue to grow from that, and you see that growth week to week, which I've seen. You got to be in the best spot you can be going into a week 4 game. And, it's the biggest game of the year because it's the next one.
Yeah.
But this one's a lot more fun. I mean, you get to go to Burnside, which is a big-time stadium to go play in, in Ascension Parish against, the EA has produced a lot of special talents that come out of there, a lot of freak players. It's always a great atmosphere. It's a district game. And, and I told our kids, starting last week that, if you really want to be remembered, these are the games you want to win, because this is what gets the number put on the wall, a district championship. That's what puts your number on the wall, not winning or losing week 2, not beating a Woodlawn team. It's winning district games and district titles, and, that's what's going to get you on the wall. And if it's important to you, we'll do everything we can in our power this week to grow and learn. And, the game is not won on Friday night. It's what you pour into it during the week. And that's what we got to continue to hone in on and, have a great week of preparation, because this is going to be a big-time opponent. EA is a really, really good football team. They always are. Very big, very physical, very athletic. So I'm intrigued to see how we continue to bounce back from week to week. And if we can limit the slow starts and turnovers against a team like this and put us in a good spot, it should be an amazing football game.
So going into that game, how big is it to keep this momentum of the running game going strong as we saw this week?
Yeah, I mean, again, you look back on our history. I don't know how many times we've really had 200-yard rushers. That's a big-time special night. Everybody wants to credit Brenton Paul with that, who's done a phenomenal job and ripped off some nice runs. But that goes back to the O-line. Our O-line is playing, phenomenal right now. They're playing a lot better. You watch them; they're doing things that I haven't seen, in a long time. That really excites me, and because of it, guys are getting to get all the credit of ripping off the long runs like Brenton Paul and Enzo and Goldman. But really, it's the big boys up front that are making us go, and it's always been that, and they've embraced this, and we got to continue to if we can continue to run the football and win the line of scrimmage. A lot of times if you win in the trenches, especially at the high school level, you got a chance to win most every Friday night. Of course, limiting the turnovers and everything else. I mean, some of those runs were good runs we had that we turned the ball over. So you gotta continue to win in the trenches. This is going to be a big time test. Very physical, big front. Really excited on both sides to see how we manage this. And let's find out how nasty we really are, because that's what it's going to be Friday night. It's going to be another heavyweight, physical, all-out brawl that we're going to have to be able to throw licks and take licks.
Yeah, so talking about fumbles, how important is it going to be this week for offense to stay out there and defense to kind of have a little bit more time on the sidelines this week?
Yeah, we got to do a good job sustaining drives. Sometimes you looking back, we don't always take advantage of the defense making the big play, the big turnover. Sometimes we'll flip around and go 3 and out. We gotta embrace those opportunities and really put together some drives, keep the defense fresh, because you're going to have to be able to get big-time stops against a team like this late in the year or late in the game for us to win this football game. And when you do that, if we can limit the turnovers, win the turnover battle, win the clock battle, which is done by controlling the line of scrimmage and running the football, keep their offense off the field because they're really good, and let our guys play, we got a chance to win the football game. And that's going to have to be the formula. And they gotta embrace that, and we gotta limit the mistakes, and we gotta start fast. And again, it'd be nice to put them in a position where they got to dig out of a hole instead of us having to dig out of a hole.
Yeah. So you mentioned earlier how are you going to prepare for your first district game, and it's on the road.
Yeah, I mean, look, we treat everything, again, it's the biggest game of the year because of the next one. Sometimes getting on the road and getting away from a comfort zone's also been really good to us. We've produced some really big-time games and big-time wins at Denham on the road. We talk about if it's got green grass and white lines, we can make it ours. And, we plan on doing the same thing. But, again, I think sometimes a little change-up, getting on a bus, going to a different place, and I don't think these kids have had a chance to really play there or even see a Friday night there, because it's been a few years the way the schedule rolled over. It's been, I guess, since our last really good team, since we've played there. I mean, they've played there in JV, but you and I both know that's nowhere near the same atmosphere and energy that they're going to get in. So, again, you got to be able to weather that atmosphere and that energy, and it's a fun place to go. And it's going to be a rowdy crowd, and again, there's just something about going to Burnside that just makes Friday night special in Louisiana, and this is just another opportunity for us to go show off our skill set, show off what we've poured into this, and continue to grow and see where we're at the end of week 4.
Yeah. Thank you for watching this episode of the Brett Beard Show, brought to you by James Restaurant. I'm your host, Beau. With me always, Coach. Coach, thanks for being here.
Man, great job as always.
Yeah. Catch the Jackets on the road next week as they travel to East Ascension. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock, and the theme is Fight Night. See you there.